All right, students, let's go over and look at how to create a Google Sites. This would be the one you'll use for our digital portfolios and any assignments we do in our classroom. We'll be able to use it through this domain. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to the waffle menu right here, and the 9-dot menu, you're going to go to where it says Google Sites. If you don't see it there, it'll be under View More and maybe even more. But this is the icon you're looking for to start with. From here, we're going to go and leave the old site and go to the new Google Sites right here on the left. Now from here, if you have any existing websites that you're working on, this is what it will look like. And so you can have multiple websites that you're doing for multiple projects, okay? But we're going to create a new one. And over on the right, this is your menu for it. So this is where you create a new site. So here's my website to start off with. And this is your workspace area on the left. This is where you would title it. And then these are some of the function buttons we have over here with what we can add into our site. And these are the resources we can pull from. Okay. So that just tells you that we can add anything from Google into here. So any products we make, this would be a great way to share it with your teacher. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to title this My Name. So as a student, you would put your name in. We'll call it a digital portfolio. Notice your text. My text is rather large, so I can highlight the words. And I can even go to a title and make it like a heading if I want to make it a little smaller, if I wish. All right? And we could leave it like that if we want. Now we need to title it. So you'll click right here and you'll do the exact same name that you see here. So I'd put in my student name and call it a digital portfolio. When I click here in the inner title, it automatically put what I had in here. So remember, when I typed it here, all I do is touch it right here and it lets me add it. So now we have a digital portfolio, right? And we have it where it says pages. This is where you insert multiple pages, and this is where your theme is. So if you want to change your color scheme or your style, you could change it. So I'm going to go into an impression. That's what I'm going to use. And I will leave it, let's see what color I want. I'll leave it red. So there's my start page. And now I go back to insert. This is where I can add information. So if I was a student now, I would take the text box, I would go over here to where I went to insert, and then I'd click and drag, and I could touch it once, and it will insert it into here. So here's where I could type about myself. This is my digital portfolio. If your teacher requires an intro, tell us something about yourself. What I am going to include in this site. So here's where we can add our textual information and put it in. Okay. If you make a mistake, there's an undo button. So if I clicked off here and I was still wanting to do some more in here, I could hit undo and it would let me go right back where I was. Okay. Now, the next area here, I could add another text box and I could click on text box and it puts one underneath here. And I could call it favorite sites. Right, it made a bullet for me. You see there? And let's say that my favorite websites are like Alabama Virtual Library. If you know the name of the website, you could type and hit enter, and it will automatically make a hyperlink for you. It sees that as a spelling error, so I could right click on it and I could tell it to kind of add it to the dictionary. That way it no longer sees that as a problem. Okay? So if I had multiple favorite websites, I could put them in right here. If I like FunBrain, so I'd put like 3 or 4 websites that I really like, and I'd put them right here. So from there, if I wanted to add a picture, notice it's blue. If I click in it, I can take the dot and move it over and do it like that. Isn't that neat? One more time. If I have a text box that's very wide as a web page, I can click one time until I see these little buttons, which would let me drag it over. So now I've got room for a picture. So if I wanted to insert a picture right here, it would let me do it. Pretty cool. So this is what we have so far. We have a website, right? And then we have a front page. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Pages. And you see where it says Home. We're going to add another page. And in this page, we're going to put in Projects. And from now on, every project you do will be under this heading. Now we have Home and Projects. When I click in Projects, this is where you will start doing all of your main projects. It looks the same, but it's not. See how the Home changed? Home has this, Projects has this. And I kind of want to get rid of this big fat banner. I don't mind it on the home page, but over here on the projects, I think I want to change this header, which is the top of a page, to a title only. I like that better. And from here on, if you are working on an assignment, this is where you will post it for your teacher. Okay, you're like, well, what can I put in here? Well, we don't want to be in Pages anymore because we've already got our pages and our theme. We need to insert something from our Google Drive, right? So I go to my Drive, and then from here I can go and put anything in that I've worked on. So let's say that you're working on a Google Slides activity. This is a Google slide here, and if you're making a project for your teacher, you could click on this, right? And then where do you insert it? Here it is on the bottom right. So you click on whatever you've been most recently working on. Now I can go to Recent, and it pulls up everything I've been working on. So if I made a Word document, right, or if I wanted to go back and I wanted to put a PowerPoint in here, which is really a Google Slides in this case, I can click on it and hit Insert. And look what it does. It embeds it right in there for your teacher to be able to see. So this is how you would make a project for your teacher. Now our page has not been published yet. So if I go back, and some of you are going, well, I don't like how it's on the left. I can drag it over and center it. Isn't that cool? Boom. Now we're centered. Better? Okay. So we have a home page, which would have been our About Our page with some favorite websites. And then our project, where I had a PowerPoint to do. Now, if I want to put something under here, I could still go under the Google Drive. And let's say that I was working on a handout or a Word document. I could click on it and insert that under there. So I'm just showing you. I'm going to take that one off now. But it's not done until we publish. You hit Publish, and then you hit Publish again. And there you go. You have a web page. In fact, you can now go view it on the internet. You view your published website. So there is your project. And it went to the projects part first, but if I clicked Home, because that's what I was working on last, there's my website, and then there's my project. Isn't that awesome? Because now I can go, and I can go right through the PowerPoint that I've created. Awesome. So there we have it. That's how part one goes with starting our web presence.